From the top plutonium scientists of the monkey world, each of these missiles carry the equivalent of 1 million VTSG powers. And what the Bloons are trying to do is stop us from launching this missile into the heart of their homeland. Welcome to MOAB Mauler Bay, a custom map made by Bohrokki. I believe that's how you pronounce their name. I'm not too sure. I'm not good at pronouncing names, as you may know. We're doing this with military because it is up to the military to stop this incoming threat of the Bloons trying to stop us from being able to launch this missile to destroy them. So what are we going to start off with? Well, we are kind of limited when it comes to naval because we can't really have a good place in order to send out naval unless we get something like an aircraft carrier. So we're kind of limited as to what we can do. So I'm probably thinking to start off with, we can we can hide in the smokes of the launch currently underway by having this ace here. So let's get ourselves cracking, and we're going to be putting down a sniper as well for a little bit of coverage. Also, I hope you all don't mind, we are bringing Churchill here because, well, Churchill rolling in with that tank. Our goal here is to defeat the first bad that comes along its way. That is our objective, and once that is completed, the missile will be able to fully launch. For some odd reason, the Bloons have stopped time within this area. That means none of the locals that live within these houses come out, and all of the seagulls are frozen in place. Dialga from Pokemon, would you be able to fix this issue, please? Okay, since we're now on round 11, it means we can place down our wonderful Churchill that will be covering the start here, and any Bloons that will be going down here as well. Base skin of Churchill has just stuck to be very strong for me. It's nothing outlandish, but it is proper and military-like. And the voice is not what you would call jarring, like let's say with Oben. It's like, yeah, I search for the horizons. Yeah? Arise! Maybe it's just me being very niche about voices, but if you're going to listen to a voice hundreds of times throughout a video game, it's got to be a voice that doesn't annoy you to oblivion. And unfortunately, to be honest here, most character voices are kind of mid, but others are like, I would rather have the slider switched off. No disrespect to the voice actors / actresses of any of the characters, but it's just under personal preference of my own. If I'm going to listen to a voice hundreds of times over at any given point in time, I know like you can only listen to the voices if you click on it, but in my case, I prefer to listen to a voice that I'm not going to be annoyed with. So let's see, we're going to go with... you know what, you're gonna be our Sky Shredder here, and for some odd reason, you can evade being incinerated by this frozen missile here. Lead's absolutely no issue, we have ourselves Churchill. Blacks, no problem, we have our machine gun here. DETs, well, we currently need to rely on armor-piercing shell for that, because there's no MIB here in order to give ourselves a means of being able to pop those. Okay, Operation Darkstorm is underway. We're going to... which cross path shall we go with? I would like to get an Energizer so that Churchill levels up faster. But at the same time, if we go with the middle path of a sniper here, we do lose out on that bonus camo damage. Or third option, we're going to make this one our top path and be able to stall the MOABs in their place so that they do not get too far on the track. I'm looking at you DDTs later on. I'm not too concerned about ZOMGs because they're slow enough. I'm not concerned about MOABs because they'll be not instantaneously, but they'll be popped really quickly by Captain Churchill, and also as well our Sky Shredder here as well. So, and also our Sky Shredder will lose out on their bonus camo damage thanks to the Energizer, but I'm getting Energizer solely for Churchill, and also to pop everything here as well. That is not a MOAB. Speaking of MOABs, here is our first victim of the day of the blimp class kind. So what we're going to be doing now is putting down a plutonium reactor so that this sniper can pop DDTs. Actually, is this thing... I'm starting to worry if this thing is even in range. So what I'm going to do is sell it and then rebuy it. And then now it's in range of... Definitely in range, because it's quite troubling sometimes to see where exactly the footprint is of a tower, especially if it's a very big tower like Churchill, or let's say a sun temple. Like, you could say, well, just look where the middle is of the tower, but it's not always that easy. Not used to doing this, but let's get ourselves some merchantman for favorite trades later on, in order to actually get some more money at the end of each round. And by doing so, hopefully we'll be able to afford more tier 5s by the end of round 100. Round 49 is a piece of cake with the setup that we have here. Cough cough, plutonium reactor. Plutonium reactor, energizer, better still, is a fantastic anti-balloon class tower. If you're looking for better means against MOABs, look elsewhere, like let's say with the Sky Shredder, or even like the Elite Defender at times is very good. Unless it's like DDTs, then you need an MIB or an Alchemist or something to either give it camo detection while being able to pop leads, or the other way around where you need to give it lead means potential and it's still able to pop camo balloons. And it was in update 28, I think, Ninja Kiwi changed the damaging type from normal to sharp with Elite Defender. Now, sharp means it cannot pop lead balloons. Normal means it doesn't have any issues when it comes to popping a particular kind of balloon. So, in this case, let's say if you go from the... let's say with the plutonium reactor with bottom cross path. This is a sharp kind of... Even though it is just a radiation-based area, it is a sharp-based attack because it cannot pop leads by itself. But with, let's say, hot shots, it turns this into a fire attack, which means it cannot pop purples. So they cover each other's weaknesses in this case. BFB inbound. It didn't even... Churchill didn't even save a line because of our sniper down here. Like when a new MOAB kind of balloon comes out, let's say round 40 MOAB, round 60 BFB, round 80 ZMG, round 90 DDT, and round 100 bad, usually Viz or hero of any case says a different line, but not in this case. So now we're in free play round. Our objective is to get to round 100 so that we are able to launch this nuke properly. As we said, we are planning on destroying the balloons once and for all, which means this will be my very last video. Hey, don't let them through, okay? You didn't see anything. We need to ramp up our defenses of round 63, and custom maps still need to be loaded in better. Ninja Kiwi. Let's put our helipad here. This will be a special operations helicopter. For so far, let's see, armor piercing shells. I kind of need you right about now, but they're still making their way through annoyingly, although not as bad this time because of the armor piercing shells. But this plutonium reactor is meeting its pierce cap here, which means all of these balloons are not getting instantaneously roasted by the radiation. Oh, dearie me, but it's radiation that... Okay, mana, no, do not let them get through, for goodness sakes. Round 63, I swear, is the first true test to see whether or not you're on the ball or not. If you're not on the ball, then they will all leak through, unfortunately. 14k away from the Energizer, and then we'll think about some more means on how to defeat MOAB class balloons. This map is lovely to look at, by the way, but I do have an important question. Are we huge, or are the humans here tiny? Because what I'm gathering, it's like trying to play a very old game on a 4K resolution monitor, or just 4K resolution in general, and you're able to zoom out of the intended 20-year-old game as if you are trying to look at a star in space with it being all tiny and non-specific when it comes to its details and all that sort of jazz. Because everything here, from the crabs to the parasol to, well, I've forgotten the name of that, sorry. It's the, not the deck, is it? Or something along those lines. Speaking of something along those lines, round 78 is going by without any issues. I just wish we had this theme for round 63. Wait, what are you talking about? We never lost on round 63. We just went back to the screen that confirms that you want to play a game of sorts. Would you like to play a game? I promise you it's going to be very fun. It doesn't involve your soul on the line here. What would be hilarious if Churchill levels up on round 69 and he says nice on it, because that would be a bit of a chuckle, wouldn't it? Speaking of round 79, we have, actually it's not speaking of round 79, that was 69 I was speaking of, round 80, and we have our means of, oh, I just remembered, with a specific monkey knowledge point, which I've forgotten which one it was, we can pick up a boat. A boat, that's brilliant. But what can we exactly pick up when it comes to boats? Can we pick up a monkey pirate and just shoot cannons upon these balloons here? I think we're gonna do just that when we have the money for it, and you are all going to be amazed with this helicopter shooting cannons out. Dearie me. Although it does lose its hook when it does that, but guess what? I'm gonna see what it's like to throw cannons against the balloons. Oh, that's just hilarious, being able to pick stuff up. I remember back in the day, I think it was an SJB video, where I was witnessing like a bug involved where you're able to use the door gunner on the Special Operations helicopter to be able to put inside a vengeful true sun god. It's like, for goodness sakes, this thing looks ridiculous, and the top of VTSG is popping out of the Special Operations helicopter. And also seeing all of the different buffs being applied and then removed because the VTSG is moved about on the battlefield. Right, Marine time. What if you could actually... No, I don't think you'll be able to do it. I was thinking, like, could you pick up the Marine, keep it inside the helicopter for forever as our door gunner? But I don't think that is the case. I don't think Ninja Kiwi would allow us to have that. Our next job here is to get ourselves a Sky Shredder, which for some odd reason can pop DDTs with both its darts and its missiles. It goes from sharp and explosive to just normal. Like I said earlier, normal is the best kind of attack because it doesn't have any weaknesses. It's kind of like having a Pokemon type that doesn't have any weaknesses. Like, what a stupidly OP type. Alright, Marine down here. Things are getting very, very tight here around 88. And we are still shooting out all sorts of stupidity from our helicopter. Cannons and helicopters don't go well together if you really think about helicopters. Because you shouldn't really carry such huge, heavy things on a helicopter. Heavy and going up in the air is not the best thing unless it has something extremely powerful enabling it to be able to go up that high in the sky and be able to carry all that weight. Anyways, it's Sky Shredder time. What else are we gonna go down here? Go away, DT. You're not welcome here. None of you are welcome here. Round 63 might have been a bit of an exception to the cause there, but we didn't mean it, and you know I didn't mean it. So don't put it down like I meant for it to happen. No, it's just my lack of skill. By the way, you wouldn't be able to put a tier 5 balloon, a tier 5 tower, sorry, inside the door gunner slot for the special operations. No way. And for some other reason, the Marine has the normal type of damage, which means its darts, which, I don't know, have something pointy at the end of them, can pop DDTs. Weird, isn't it? Round 94 is coming to a resounding close. Hopefully. There we go. Round 95, you are level 18, my friend, which means you probably will be at level 19 when round 100 comes to play. Let's see. Progress is steady. Armor piercing shell. Round 98 to round 99. Now that's going to be quite an important transition here because of the sole fact that you're going from a huge cluster of balloons to fortified DTs, which are twice as menacing for us. So I think a carrier flagship is needed at this given point in time. Don't worry, we're not using this for its darts that it fires out of a ship, but we're using it for its plane. So all of this red doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Marine Poppydom, thank you very much. Ah, you are level 19 now. Let's sell these and put you at max level. Having a max level Churchill, that's not very common inside a chips game. Sorry, outside of a chips game. So can we get a pirate log here and be able to hook in the last DDTs? Let's see, armor piercing. That's game actually. We don't need you. We will be able to suck the rest in. I love that line as well. It's like that's our first reaction anytime we see the bad for the first time ever playing a game. Let's see now. Hook those in. I've forgotten to use the crates all of this time, and we are going to call it a game from here. So we have officially stopped the menace of the balloons, and unlike what I said earlier, this will definitely not be the last video I ever will do, because obviously the fight against the balloons are endless. Obviously, there is no such thing as an end to them. It's like a horde of zombies. No matter how many you kill, there's going to be a billion more to kill in the near future. And that is the beauty of a grim, dark world. How morbid it is, but how satisfying it is for somebody who has an everlasting bloodthirst for the slaughter of any given kind of scenario, whether it is against a horde of zombies or a horde of balloons. They all go down the same, and they keep coming back. So that, folks, is our run here. We managed to set up quite a few tier 5s actually. We got ourselves 2 of the Buccaneers, a Energizer, a level 20 Churchill. It's the equivalent of a tier 5 tower, honestly. Special operations, and our Sky Shredder here, which still has not been incinerated by the fire of this missile. Sorry. Now, my question to you is, if you were to give a tower a second kind of category, or another category in general, what would it be? Now, I think some time ago, there was some kind of like debunking, and the Ice Tower was actually meant to be a magic kind of tower. But then you could also think that, yeah, that makes actually kind of sense, because it, like the magician there, the wizard casting fire, the ice casts ice. Both very temperature related towers, but very different in that perspective. So I would say with the bomb tower, it could be military. With, let's say, a hero like definitely Churchill is a military grade tower. With Striker Jones, military. With Sorder, you could say either primary or magic. Quincy is definitely primary. With Adora, definitely magic. Azili, magic. Sai, definitely magic. Like, what category would you place each hero in if they... hero in if they were not a hero, but as a tower in which you can upgrade? Not with monetary means to get a different tier, but something else, like let's say getting Gary Flagship, for example. I'm just saying something like that from tier 4 to tier 5. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Please let me know what you thought of this map, what you thought of this video, and please be sure to check this map out for yourselves. I think it is a very interesting map, to say the least. Definitely very interesting as well with the frozen seagulls. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that Dialga nonsense, if you know what I mean. And we're still stuck in the void. Please fix this, Ninja Kiwi. Also, speaking of fixing things, please fix Brickles' naval tactics when it comes to certain custom scenarios, because unless it's by default water, placing water down without actually, you know, putting the entire area as water from a single click of a button, if you try and place it down on, let's say, a custom like area of water, either from a inventory item or having a little bit of space with water, then the naval tactics do not work. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and stay safe out there, because Half Cash Bloonarius is coming to get you. And if you do not stop it, it will stop the missile.